But yeah, do you want me to show you? Do you want me to show you home? I think I've gotten a lot better at it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Do
Do you want me to play? I have a keyboard here. Do you want me to?
And yeah, if you want to play along, go right ahead. Unless you feel
Sure,
like you need to stand up and get through that break.
Right. Let me just move my mic around. All right. And there's the keyboard. Okay. Cool. Okay. That's a little loud. Yeah, so we could do that. And so yeah, I'll just try my best, but I'll show you. I think I've just controlled the mouth and whatnot, but I've gotten them better. So. Staring out into the night, trying to hide the pain. I'm going to the place where love and feeling good don't ever cost a thing. And the pain you feel's a different kind of pain. No, stop. I was on a roll. Hold on one second.
Keep going. You're good. You're good.
Oh, I'm going home, back to the place where I belong, and where your love has always been enough for me. Not running from, you know you think you got me all wrong. I don't regret this life I chose for me. These places and these faces are getting old, so I'm going home. I don't know, it's kind of okay. I don't know. I can usually do better, but
I love your voice. Nice. I really love your voice. I genuinely love your voice.
You're so nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. So good. I can hear some moments where you're closing it and moments where it kind of wants to get away on you.
Yeah.
On that chorus, but yeah, like just I can hear a little bit of a difference from last week in terms of being able to contain that and keep it intact. Yeah,
it really feels like I've definitely worked on taming it, because it really does want to open up, and that's just me being my old bad habit self, but yes, I think it's better. But the harder one is the be careful what you wish for, which is just miserable. No, actually, I can do it though. I know I can do it. I can't say it's miserable, but it's definitely, it gives me a run for my money.
It does. So can we go back to the chorus though for a second? So you're starting off with like the I'm going home, and I think we talked about going a little more
right.
I'm going home, going to that kind of kind of sound, to make sure that you're more close voice. And the second line, you were getting this a little bit last week. To the second line, it's good and closed. To the place where I belong, you're singing kind of like an you're just kind of doing that intuitively. I think I know we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Love has always. I think it opens up there again.
Yeah.
Me. And then I think it's fine after that, but I think it wants to open up on those two spots. So I think you need to go more with the vowel love, or I'm coming home, love, and go that way with it.
Okay, cool. I'll try that. All right. Why? Wait, hold on.
Can we try something before you go?
Sorry?
So you keep going, you keep starting down where you are. Why don't you use that as a little glissando? Because you're starting off in this closed voice there, and glissando up to the
Okay, I'll do that. I'm going home. like that. Something like that. That was
Yeah.
still a little more open though.
It was. I mean, a little open is fine. Just don't splat it, right? But that's You use that and slide up there. Gunk.
Okay. No, I'm going home. Hold on, I can do the O better. Hold on, wait. Oh, I'm going home. Okay. Oh, I'm going home. Back to the place where I belong. And where your love has always been enough for me. Something like that.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's good. Yeah. It stayed kind of all in the same place in terms of open, close.
Yeah, it felt more consistent. Yeah.
Yeah. So you expressed it better than I did. So do that again. That was right though. That was not that it was right or wrong, but that was good. I like that. It sounds more like your voice down lower, and it stayed consistent with that. Good.
Cool. Okay, I'll do that again.
But yeah, a little scoop up to there if it helps for now, and just cheat on that, and then eventually it'll become automatic and muscle memory for you, and you don't have to worry about it.
Cool. Okay. Oh, I'm going home, back to the place where I belong, and where your love has always been enough for me. Was that okay?
That's good.
Yeah, that one felt even better.
Yeah, that's good. Now it doesn't even sound like it's as high anymore.
Yeah, it definitely before felt like it was the top of my range. Even though like it wasn't the top of my range. But yeah, it's so cool. Okay, yeah, now it feels like in the middle.
I think that's sort of the inherent nature of splatting and singing really open voiced up there, is that you sound shouty and yelly, and which always makes it sound like it's higher than what it is, or you know what I mean, or it just makes it sound like you're really struggling with that note, or that's the top of your range. But when you start closing it, it sounds like you've got so much more room to go, like so much more pitch range to go.
Yeah, it's insane. And I wanted to let you know, because it was actually very relevant. When I performed on Monday for my school, and everyone had told me that they thought I sounded so much better, they were saying that I sounded effortless. So I was actually belting F sharps, and I tried my best to get them in closed voice. The vowel was an O, so it was kind of like easy to get into a closed both voice and vowel on an O. But so usually my school gets very excited when they hear high notes, and so when other people sing high notes that aren't trained, they'll just kind of yell them. My school will be like, "Woo, I love it!" Like, yeah. So I usually get that applause when I sing a high note, because I've usually been singing it in full chest. But this time I had a really nice like mix belt, and it was very close, and it was good, and no one made a sound because it didn't sound high. And I was like, damn it. But it's like, yay, but no, clap for me. But it was actually, anyway. So I think it's very true that when it all works well, it doesn't feel like it's a high note at all. So
then what you need to do is start showing more visible effort.
Yes.
No, I'm joking. You have to make it look like it's arduous, and it's really difficult to sing those notes. You have to make it look that, like, grimace. I'm all for grimacing, and I'm all for like clenching.
Oh, great. While I'm playing piano, I'll just lift my hands up and then just like
you gotta get that look of pain on your face, and then they will applaud.
I will remember that next time.
All right, let's go from the chorus then, and let's maybe sing the chorus again, scoop up the chorus, and then go into your bridge. Be careful what you wish for.
Okay.
Nope, no nerves, but keep it. I think if you set the stage again with that chorus, just the way you just sang it before, I think that'll carry into that bridge.
Okay, cool. Okay. Love has always been enough for me. me all wrong. I don't regret this life chosen me. Oh, these places and these faces are getting old. I'm scared. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all. And there's some you don't want. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. Something like that. You just might get it all, yeah. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. There are a couple notes where it's borderline almost too open. It almost sounds like you want to shout through, but you kind of kept it. But you kept it in check, though. That's much better than last week.
Lit. Okay, that's great. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm really working on it.
No, that's good. You kept it like, again, I think it's okay if it opens a little bit more so than the chorus, because again, it's one of those things where it's building. It's right. Building to the sort of climactic moment in the song. It's just, you know, you want some more drama, so to speak, in that part. Mm-hmm. And when you do start to kind of open in just a tiny bit, it does sound a little bit more almost like effortful, almost like there's that, I always say that like with male singers when they're kind of singing through the passaggio, where you like that sound where it almost sounds like it's like, you know, they have more range, but at the same time, it almost sounds like it's really high in their range. And it's like, but you like that, like, you know, it's effortful, like, you know, it's in the sense that they're working hard at it, but not straining. But I don't know, there's that kind of delicate balance. I think that's where you want it, though. You want to be able to create that sensation of like emotion, or that the sound of emotion and just something building up. And I think that's what you get when you start to open just a little bit with it without splatting. And that's the key, is that finding that balance. That's good. Let's try it again from the chorus, same thing.
So you want me to start from the chorus and then go in?
Yeah, because I think the chorus again sets the stage, and then you're not as nervous about it too. Last time you stopped yourself, you chickened out.
It's funny because like I chicken out and then like ends up being okay, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you second guess yourself a lot, because I know it's I know that we're approaching things differently, technically speaking, from what you've done in the past, whereas you probably felt a little more confidence in some way with the way that you were used to singing. Right. And so now we're kind of overhauling your technique, and now it's like you're starting in some ways from scratch. Yeah. You know, so yeah, it's normal to feel like a little bit of apprehension, I think, when you're approaching things differently, but you know, you have such a good voice. Like, it's a healthy instrument, it's a strong instrument, it's a capable instrument. It's just a matter of just, you know, like just going for it sometimes. Yeah.
All right. I'll try it now. I'm going home, back to the place where I belong, and where your love has always been enough for me. I'm not running from, you know, you think you got me all wrong. I don't regret this life chose for me. But these places and these faces are getting old. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all. And there's some you don't want. Be careful. No, why? Hold on, I got inefficient. I can fix it.
Did you go Are you doing careful instead of careful?
Oh, I'll try that. Yeah.
I think the doesn't, careful doesn't work as well right there. It opens too much.
Okay. So just like literally like an
careful.
Yeah. I think he does that too in the recording.
Probably. Yeah. I haven't analyzed it, but sorry?
I put too much Broadway on it. Be careful what you wish for.
You gotta get a little jazz hands. You know, it's really interesting though, because if you do go and listen sometimes to songs and really analyze what vowels they're singing, like listen very actively to those vowels, you will find that they're very often modified. But again, in passing, like just sort of passive listening to it, we don't really pick up on that. You ever watch Felicia Ricci's channel?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you know how she does some of those things where she's like how to sing like so and so, and she does like their modifications, like how to sound like Sia, how to sing this song like Adele or whatever, actually. Right? It's kind of, I mean, they're kind of radical modifications, and some people say that it's like kind of a little bit too exaggerated, but it's a starting place. And if you listen to what she's doing, she's like, oh, hear what she's doing with the vowel there. She's not singing this, she's singing. That's exactly the kind of process that you need to go through. Maybe not quite as nitpicky, but focus primarily on the vowels that you're singing. And listen to who does it well. Again, somebody whose voice is similar to yours in terms of weight, timbre, etc., which I think Daughtry is a really good example for you. And really analyzing, because he's going to modify in the same ways that you probably should, and in the same places that you should modify, on the same words, etc. Whereas, you know, somebody who's higher or lower voiced, you have to make adjustments for the pitch where that might happen. But for the most part, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you really need to nitpick through the vowel and just, because if you really listen closely, you'll hear that they're not always singing the speech value vowel.
I'll start paying attention to that, because I had forgotten that other people vowel modify too. So yeah, good to know. Okay, cool. I will make sure to do that. Okay.
So I guess in this case, a sort of general rule of thumb when you're trying to stay a little bit more closed voice here is that there are certain vowels that are definitely more inherently open, or they're more prone to splatting in certain ranges. So your ahs, your ahs, they tend to want to just go right? Especially the ahs, which are great for some things in musical theater, but not for everything, especially in like pop and rock, where you like in this case you want to keep kind of some warmth in the sound. Those are not ideal vowels. So when you get the word careful, which has kind of an a or an however you pronounce that, those vowels want to splat. So when you get those vowels, go a little bit more or whatever it might be with it.
Okay. All right, I'll try it. I'm excited. Places and these faces are getting old. No, I did it again. Okay, wow. Okay, I'm gonna fix it. Be careful what you wish for, cause you just might get it all.
Hey, can we go back to might?
Sorry?
You went kind of on might.
Oh, okay.
Might. So go mutt.
Mutt. Okay.
Mutt.
Mutt. I love it. Okay. Just my. Oh, okay. Okay. Be careful what you wish for, cause you just might get it all. Something like that. You just might get it all. Hold on. You just might get it all.
You watch that just. Yeah.
So you want me to go like
just. Yeah, just keep it a little bit more closed, and then it won't splat on you. Because my thing with this is when you're singing a vocal phrase, the tendency, and I do this too, is to want to open, close. And not only does it make it difficult when you're opening one vowel and then the next one's closed, not only does it make it difficult for you to find a closeness on the next vowel that you want closed, but it creates an inconsistency.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't really hear it until you play it back. And I've done this before where I recorded original song, just kind of in practice, working with a pianist. It was just kind of first time we'd gone through it together, and she was just learning it. And I thought, oh yeah, it sounds okay, and I listened back and I was just horrified. Because there was like all these notes where I was like, oh, I sound nice and belty there, and it was so open and yelly. And it was like, no, that doesn't sound nice and belty, it just sounds shouty. And so then I made adjustments from there. So sometimes it's listen to yourself. Do you record yourself sometimes?
All the time.
Okay, good. Yeah, so record yourself sometimes and play it back, like even right after. Don't wait for the end of the session, because then you'll just have been reinforcing the same patterns, right? So sing through once or twice, get the nerves out or whatever, play it back, and then really listen. Oh, I thought that note sounded okay, but nah, it's too open, splats, right? And then make the necessary adjustments as soon as you can, rather than like sooner rather than later.
Got it. Okay. And I think, because that actually kind of makes sense. I do not have, I'm working on it, but I don't yet have consistency on open and closed on a specific musical phrase. And I think that's what's causing my voice to feel inefficient, is when I will open it and then close it. And then there's just that ridiculousness where I'm like, whoa, oh my God. I'll make sure to focus on that consistency.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the way that you've been singing it doesn't sound bad. And it doesn't sound extremely like inconsistent, but it's just subtle enough that I can pick up on it because I know what to listen for. And again, my concern is just that it's going to be harder for you to get into a closed, resonance tuning on the next notes or the next phrase if you allow it to open. It's like, give it an inch and it'll take a mile kind of thing, right? That's what I'm always like cautious of, that it's just gonna present more problems. So sometimes it's better to keep some consistency, and then maybe once you're able to achieve that consistency, then start playing around with how you shade or color or open a given phrase or vowel.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Okay. So much stuff. I love it. Okay. And at first I thought like, wow, there's so much to be conscious about in singing, and then I met you, and then I realized there's so much more.
You're welcome. I aim to please.
Okay. Places and these faces are getting old. Nope. Hold on 1 second. Be careful what you wish for. No, why? Hold. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all. And there's something you don't want. Be careful what you wish for. No, I don't like that. Hold on 1 second. I compress too much and it makes me annoyed. All right. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. Oh, okay. I think the 'cause is like it's too open, and then I think I figured it out. I think the E flat before it is not closed enough, which ruins me.
But that's what, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is just like you let one vowel be more open, and the others want to follow suit. And this is what I found in my own experience with singing, is just that it's better to kind of start off with the consistency and then explore the variations later on.
Got it.
Because if you let yourself get away with it, it just, again, you reinforce habits, and it's hard to get out of that afterwards, I find.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
But it's sounding good. The only thing is, and this is like, I'm saying this early, like kind of prematurely for you, is that sometimes I feel like because you're focused on this, trying to get a little bit of a closed voice in there and some of these vowels and darkening them intentionally, is sometimes your diction gets a little bit almost like slurred at times.
Yes, my old teacher hates my diction.
Yeah, it's not bad for when you're down lower, but right there, and I honestly think that it has nothing to do with, I think the only thing it has to do with really is that we are trying to sing more closed voice than what you're accustomed to there. And I'm not worried about it at all right now. I'm just saying that I'm putting it out there now just to say that when you feel confident and consistent with your technique there, that's when I feel like you'll probably start feeling like you can articulate a little bit more clearly.
Yeah.
Because I think you do beautifully down lower. It's just this one section. Even the verses, the choruses are fine. Just this section. So don't worry about it right now.
Okay. I'll definitely keep an eye on it, because people talk about my diction all the time.
Are they blogging about it? What?
No. All my fans. No. My voice teacher before you had always said that I need to work on my diction, but it's always hard because all those consonants make it harder to sing. At least, well, they used to. Obviously, I think when my technique is better, I can focus on it and make them independent of Okay.
Yeah. I don't think today's the time to worry about it. I think you need to just secure this technique here that we're trying to aim for, and then focus on it.
Okay, cool. I can do it. Okay. The places and these faces are getting old. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all. And there's something you don't want. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all, yeah. Something like that. Was that okay?
Do it again, just like that.
Okay. So yeah.
Big thumbs up. Yep. Okay. Beautiful. It was a little more open, but not splatty. That's exactly where you want it, I think.
Okay, cool. It definitely felt really efficient. So I felt much better with it because I really focused on those lower notes right before, like right on the break and slightly under, just getting them closed as well, because that's what is tripping me up. But okay, I'll do it again. But these places and these faces are getting old. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all. And then there's something you don't want. Be careful what you wish for, 'cause you just might get it all. You just might get it all, yeah. Cool.
I think you found it. I think you found the right place.
Okay, that's so cool. Oh my god. It's honestly mind-blowing how a simple like adjustment of like just close these. Oh my god. Wow, mind-blowing. Wow. Okay.
It is. I totally understand what you're saying. It's like just sometimes the tiniest little tweak that we can make makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's good. That's exactly where you want it. It's open enough that it sounds dramatic.
You're right.
But not open that it sounds splatty and yelly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh my god, that's so cool. Yeah, he's just Chris Daughtry is like, yeah, every time I love trying to sound like him because his voice is like one of my favorite voices. It's very like husky and lovely, and I just love it. But
it's one of my favorite voices too. That's definitely something you and I have in common. So, but the funny thing is though that you don't really have to try very hard. Like I've said all along that you have a very similar voice to him in terms of like the quality and the weight. So, I mean, it's not really a far stretch for you. It's not like you're trying to like make your voice into something that it's not designed to be.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, you have, I think you have a little bit more roundedness in your tone, if it makes sense. It's a little more, not darkness.
Should I continue staying, just try to stay closed up until the B, or at that point should I start like moving into a head mechanism, like
I would play around with it. We could try it right now if we've got a few minutes left. We could try that right now and just see what would work best, because you could go into like a head mix. You could just really modify the vowels, but open it, like let it go open, but modify the vowels in such a way that they sound a little warmer and therefore match the notes that below that are a little bit more closed, more chiusa.
Yeah.
So there are different ways that you can approach that. Let me just hear it. Just take a stab at it, and then we'll figure out the best approach for that.
Okay. So I'm going. So it'd be like, now running. Okay. You know, you think you got me. Oh my god. Okay. Actually, this is just very foreign to me because, oh my god, my old teacher would have just told me to transpose it. So I feel like this is just mind blowing to me that we're not transposing. And this is like the first time I've actually sung a song like this, in an original key and sung it well. So I'm like blown away. And so this is just insane to me. But okay.
it was so funny because because I think, I think of him as sort of a lyric baritone, which is kind of where I'd place your voice as well. And it's funny because I didn't even realize that his songs were going quite that high either, which says something about his singing. It says that he's singing so well, his technique is so good that it doesn't sound like, I can tell he's going higher, but I didn't realize he was going up to a B.
Yeah, and on some of the songs he goes up to the C sharp, and he's a masterpiece. I don't know how he does that, but I
have a greater appreciation, even more so now, for him. So.
Yeah, it's so impressive. But yes, okay. So, not running from, you think you got. Oh, hold on, wait. You think you got me. Something like that. Like, I just kind of like, I don't even know what I did. Think you got me. I just kind of like heady mix it. I don't know what I did, but.
Try speaking through the melody, like speak singing it. So it'll be a little bit musical theater like. Think you got me.
Okay, just like on like articulation, or do you mean like speak, approach it, like?
So like speak through it like a twangy speaking.
Oh, like a twangy,
but on pitch.
Okay. You think you got me, something like that.
Yeah, but now see how you're going falsetto there, right? Or heady sound, right?
Yeah.
So try to stay on like you're still speaking it. I know it's like up there, it's way beyond speech inflection for you, but yeah, just see what happens. Think you got me all wrong. That's how it goes. Got me. I'm staying in that chest mix there.
Okay.
I'm totally opening it.
Sorry?
I said I'm totally opening when I'm doing that, but I'm keeping it controlled enough not to splat.
Okay, I'll try. You think you got. What the hell? Think you got me. It just feels like a. Was that okay or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's you got room to kind of get a little more control with it, but that's Let's do that again.
Yeah. You think you got me. Oh, something like that.
Yeah, hear how you kind of went to a head mix there?
Yeah.
But it didn't disconnect. It didn't go falsetto.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, so that's I would go there. I would almost go just very speech-like with it. I don't think you even need to really do much with the modifications more than what you're already doing. Do it again.
Okay, not running from, you think you got me all wrong. Something like, think you got me. Hold on. You think you got. Hold on, that was a flip. You think you got me. I switched it to a head mix a little early though. I don't know.
Last time you did it just on the top note, the me.
So just switch on the top.
It worked perfectly last time, I think.
Okay. You think you got me. Something like okay, something like that.
Yeah, but that time you kind of stayed open, more chest-like. But I mean, play around with it, and you're gonna find some days you could probably stay a little more chest than others. But
okay. You think you got what? Think you got no? What the hell? Think. Oh, what? Why am I that? Like that was a bad bell. Hold on. You think you got. I don't know. Got me. That was a little closed.
Yeah, hear how you're kind of singing May.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's where your voice just seems to want to go, and it still sounds like me. I know what words you're singing. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Okay, you think you got me all wrong, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's very close.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
work on that.
Yeah, so that'll be your homework for the week.
Just sing it before, okay.
You're singing it just fine. Yeah, I think for now, like let it go into that kind of head mix, but it's a very connected sound, so it really doesn't sound like it's starkly different from the notes immediately below it. And that's the key, is to not just kind of all of a sudden disconnect.
Right.
Because that will never work for the song. Going into flipping into like a falsetto will not work.
Right.
but your head mix, use that because it still sounds like there's a lot of, you know, like we'll say high close quotient there. There's students calling. All right, so, oh, you gonna go through it one more time?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just go ahead.
One more time. You know you think you, hold on. You know you think you got me all wrong. Hold on 1 second. Think you got. What do I do for the got? I think is it because it's that's the B flat.
Last time you sang kind of like a got me.
Good. Okay. Like gut. Okay. You know you think you got me all wrong. Something like that. Like.
Yeah, because the ah is going to want to open quite a bit. So the ah is actually a good vowel up there, but then you might have to shade it a little bit more toward an just to warm it up a bit. But the ah otherwise is usually a good vowel up there.
Okay. Think you got. It's so flippy. I hate it. Think you got me all wrong. Okay, I think I got it. I think I figured it out.
So when I do that, when I go into, you know, I'm singing, thank you, God. In order to stay connected, I have to slow it down. I walk through the notes and I'm trying to talk through it, speak it, but I kind of slow it down rather than trying to think singing. And that always helps a lot. And then I kind of sing through it, but it helps me find that connection and that right mix without too much weight, which is my technique. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So hopefully I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're always the best.
Thank you. You're the best student.
Thank you. You too, guys.
Take care.
Take care. See you later. Bye.